Economically weaker
In
people,
current scenario,
why
the subaltern journalists are being suppressed,
इकोनॉमिकल के
are
लिए
being
ये
killed,
करके चलाना तो
and
why you
are
don't go
being
to in
thrown
business?
into jails.
Why you don't go to
In this
job?
current scenario,
ये भी business
there are
business
many
media आपका
subaltern
आपका
journalists
business media
are
आपको समाज के लिए
threatened to
सपोर्ट करने
leave
के
the
लिए
media.
करना क्या है?
What do you think
भी
can
आता है
make them
ऐसा नहीं है, वो
survive?
लोगों का तो
The
इतना
other
चल रहा है
journalists who are still there on field, what will make them survive and continue their journalism as it is?
आपने मेरा
As I
ऑडियो नहीं
said,
सुना
historically speaking, whenever journalists,
ऑडियो सुनिए मेरा
when they had spoken or written against the majority, against the act of tyranny,
जो
misrule,
है ना एसएसपी और डीएम से बात करते
they are
हैं
suppressed, their rights have been taken away, which is most unfortunate. Now,
नहीं, मेरा वेबसाइट
this sort
इसका
of
नहीं है, बहुजन
malice
एक लड़का बना रहा है मेरा
or evil in the society system can be eradicated when you have a good law in place. Unfortunately, to protect the interest and the right of a journalist, we do not have a special law in place.
इसका वेबसाइट
I envisage that we have got a body like Press Council of India, host of other bodies, but they do not have any power or teeth to bite. Now, to protect the journalist, especially when these people expose or write for the welfare of the downtrodden, the subaltern journalist, to protect them, as I said, two incidents like Albergi and Prabhakar is a recent episode, which is a sordid state of affairs. So, this sort of negative tendency is done in the society by the majoritarian to threaten, suppress the right of minority. So, in order to overturn this, we need to have a effective special laws in place. Government has already enacted Protection of Civil Rights Act and SCST's Atrocities Act. That is not sufficient because, as we say, these journalists are the voice for the voiceless. These people, they come forward and fight on the ground level. I feel that it is necessary that parliamentarians and every state legislature in the country, they should discuss and enact a special law. In the sense, if and also to give adequate police protection. Now, if you see when people they face a threat, for example, Martin Luther King himself, when he fought for the rights of the black people in America, several times his house was they tried to bomb his house, they tried to attack him, and they went to the extent of taking his life. So he was under a constant threat. So the writers especially, their mind should be free. If they are put under pressure, they will not act towards the development of the society and the nation. So these people are the core elements. To protect them, you need a special police protection force and a special law, as well as when there are incidents like that, it should be brought to the knowledge of the highest DGP and the Chief Secretary and the magistrate. Special body should be created, and automatically, because they cannot run to the court every time, which is a judicial process, will take its own delay and time. So to solve that problem, we need to have a special laws in place, special body of you have a special police protection group, NSG commandos. These commandos are given only to the certain politicians and they select people to protect them. Why not protect all these the subaltern rights, people who vindicate the right? Because historically speaking, so we need a special police and the executive system, and also a sense of confidence and security should be installed. So that can be done only by the government. So government cannot remain mute spectator. They should be the first to be with these sort of people. So incidents like the Prabhakar and Galburgi has already set the tone. So future, no one journalist, especially subaltern journalist, should not face any sort of insecurity or threat. The duty is cast with the government to come forward and protect them, so that these writers can create a lot of creative work and make the people to think and change the society, because they are also like a teachers for the society.
In a democratic country where we say that we are free, we have freedom of speech, in that democratic country, when the entire media begins to talk about a single party or just about the government, they don't want to go against the government, they don't want to talk against the government. In that scenario, where does our judiciary stand? In that scenario.
Now that's a good thing. Even recently, the former Chief Justice of India has expressed an opinion, just because people expect the judiciary to speak or act against the government. Just because the judiciary started giving judgments in favor of the judgment doesn't mean that it is pro-government. I totally disagree with that view because in a democratic country, who is sovereign? Sovereignty is a very important one. It's inalienable, sacrosanct. People's right is sovereign. People's right should be protected. So in a democratic country, sovereignty is vested only with the people. People's rights have to be protected. Now, majority people right is only taken by the minority. It's only the majority who, it should be a rule of law and not a rule by men. Majority people, if they try to suppress a minority, it is a rule of men. At the same time, if you want to restore the rule of law, minority rights should be protected, which can be done only by the judiciary. In fact, the judiciary itself exists, functions to protect the minority against the majority. So unfortunately, judiciary is not able to realize that because majority people, of course, by the social setup and by the numerical strength, they can protect themselves. People who are strong and who has got a financial wherewithal, resource, they can protect through any means. But people who do not have any means, the minority people, rights should not be suppressed, should not be violated. So at that time, there is a cry for justice. So they approach the battle court through the court of law. At that time, judiciary should be most conscious enough, should be the first to send an alarm, ring bell to the society, and they should not hesitate to wash their hands away. So,
One more question. There was a question raised by Raghav Chadha yesterday in Rajya Sabha that all the judges who are getting retired, who are retired now, the next day of their retirement,
They are post-retirement job.
either they become a governor or they get a Rajya Sabha seat or something. There should be implemented a cooling period of at least 2 years for
Definitely.
them. So what do you think about that?
judicial integrity is very important. Today what happens, post-retirement jobs are provided based upon the pre-judgment delivered by the judges. It is like you are assured a job for accomplishing such a mission. Judges are given the post-retirement jobs. Now what happened, at the time of the enactment of the constitution, nobody dreamt, even Ambedkar never thought that judges will be after a post after their retirement. Because when becoming a judge, irrespective of your party affiliation, your ideology, you are a judge to all. As a result, justice should be done. So your own personal predilection or passion or prejudice should not come in the way of reasoning and justice. So now what happens, majority of the judges, post-retirement, there are instances, one instance I can quote you. For example, former Chief Justice of India, M.N. Venkatachalaya was there. He was offered the post of a Vice President, post his retirement. He said, even to accept the post as a Vice President, it is not appropriate or morally correct. Because he felt if the government is giving a post just to honor a person's service and integrity, he opined that, he stated that you should a person should be given a higher post. The Chief Justice of India is appointed by the President. Vice versa, President is appointed by the Chief Justice of India. That is our constitution. And also, Constitution says President of India in the absence, Vice President is the next position in power. If President or Vice President, for example, if they die, if they are not alive during their tenure, the next acting President will be the Chief Justice of India. So accordingly, he said even Vice President post will not be accepted by him. But now what happens after the retirement, former Chief Justice of India have gone to the extent of even accepting the post of a gubernatorial post like that of a governor and Rajya Sabha MPs. This is normally considered to be a political job, not an independent job. So in order to have a fair of transparency, for example, immediately the government, when a promise is given, to fulfill the promise after retirement, judges they occupy the post of a president or a governor. So if a cooling off period, even former Justice V.R. Krishna here said that you need to have a cooling off period. That cooling off period also should not be very short. For example, if you have to give a 5-year cooling off period, so that people they are not sure which government will come. If they want to take that post, they are getting retired by 65. There is no retirement age for the post like the governor or the president. Even if their services have to be utilized, it is a welcoming trend. But that can happen, you need to give a cooling off period of at least 5 years. I think all the to have independency to save the office of the president post and the governor post, because a constitutional post, to save itself from disgrace. Now people with the judges after the retirement, if they occupy such post, people they view the post with a suspicion. And not only judges, important constitutional dignitaries like Caesar's wife should be above suspicion. First, they should have confidence in the minds of the people. Yeah, certain judges who are appointed after retirement, they are independent, they are transparent and free. Then only opposition parties and the public will have confidence on the constitutional post. As a result, that post will be respected. So, if you give a cooling off period of not 1 or 2 years, because the government sometimes assuming if the after retirement the government exists for 5 years, if a 4-year period is given, they can expect the post again. So, if you give a cooling off period of 5 years, then you do not know whether the government will exist or not. Then judges also will have an idea that even if they deliver something, this is not appointed as per the thing. And further, even if you want to appoint the judges, Justice Krishna has been advocating to have National Judicial Commission, in the sense to assess the performance of judges depending upon the quality of judgments rendered and the way they have made some substantial change in the constitution, the way they have upheld the rule of law and promoted the right and the interest of the people, especially downtrodden people. These are the parameters. Judges' philosophy, political and legal philosophy has to be ascertained. They should have a stream of file, in the sense, judges' bank, performance bank. In that merit and integrity, judges of merit and integrity and competence should be appointed. Then only that post will have some validity. For example, if you take Rajendra Prasad, he was an outstanding statesman, knowledgeable person. When Dr. Abdul Kalam was appointed, he upheld the post of the president. Then it makes a lot of reputation, integrity for the post. The person's individual probity and honesty, integrity will also be protected. The post will also will have its sanctity. Otherwise, the post will lose its charm and its grace and welcoming trend for the public. The individual also will not have. We need to have leaders like Abraham Lincoln. Today, Abraham Lincoln is remembered in history because he was one of the outstanding presidents. So the people, the future generation also, they see upon, I need to be a president, I need to be a lawyer, like Abraham Lincoln. Similarly, like Kalam, if so many judges are appointed, meritorious judges are appointed with integrity, then people will respect the judiciary, the judges, as well as the post of the president or governor.